doesn't matter what you say you believe, because what do you know about it? What matters is how you act out what you believe. And if you really want to find out what you believe, you don't ask yourself what you believe. You watch yourself act, and you deduce from that what you believe.
Hi there, this is James Tripp with a video for James Tripp Chaos Wave. It is on Sherlock Holmes coaching and the nature of beliefs. Now, the video opened up with a clip from the currently notorious Jordan Peterson, and he's making an observation about beliefs which really jumped out at me. I think it's very profound, very important, and it dovetails with something that is really at the basis of all the work that I do. And that's whether it's the hypnotic elicitation stuff, the hypnosis without trance stuff, whether it's the change work, the developmental coaching I do, or whether it is the self-change stuff that I do through the modeling processes I use in my own life. This idea is at the very foundation of it. And it is this: beliefs are key. We do not live in the world as it is. We live in the world as our mind makes it up to be, according to our understandings of things, according to our deeply held operational beliefs. Now, of course, we have data coming in through our eyes and our ears, but that data is shaped into our experience through these deep beliefs, outside of consciousness beliefs, operational beliefs. So some people have studied with me, been mentored with me, or be familiar with the term key operational concepts or operational beliefs, the operational belief system. And you'll know that I sometimes draw a distinction between embodied operational beliefs and intellectual beliefs. And this is what Jordan Peterson is talking about here. If you ask somebody about their beliefs, they'll be able to tell you their intellectual beliefs, but these are not necessarily the same as their operational beliefs. Now, let me say why operational beliefs are fundamentally important. They're fundamentally important because they shape reality. For those who are students of hypnosis without trance, you know the hypnotic loop. And I'm not going to teach the hypnotic loop here, but you know that beliefs is right at the top of the loop because it's the primary driver. As we believe, so we experience. As the thinker thinks, the prover proves. And this is why in change work, if somebody walks into a change work session with me or comes and does developmental coaching with me and they leave with exactly the same beliefs they came in with, nothing will change. Nothing will change because their perceptions will still continue to unfold in the same way. We have to get in and we have to change those beliefs. And this is one of the reasons why self-change is a really challenging thing to do. Why? Well, as I'm very fond of saying, human beings are very poor witnesses to their own processes, but what they're even poorer witnesses to is that which underpins their own processes, which is these deeply held operational beliefs. And there is a reason for that, because it is really difficult to see what we're seeing the world through. It is really difficult to bring consciousness to what we are bringing consciousness through. Okay, this is the reason why. And so we cannot necessarily directly access our beliefs. We have to do it indirectly. We have to uncover. We have to infer. We have to deduce. We have to deduce. So, when I am doing coaching work, when I am doing change work, I am always listening to what people say, not because they're going to tell me what they believe, but because, as Jordan Peterson says, if you want to uncover beliefs, you want to look at how people act. And when I listen to people speak, I listen to the speech acts. And I think, what must be true underneath of that in terms of their belief structures to make sense of these speech acts? So people, again, who are students of mine will be familiar with the term, or at least who have been mentored by me, people's organization of reality. Their speech acts show me their organization of reality. And this is why I call this kind of work Sherlock Holmes coaching. Because Sherlock Holmes, the fictional character Sherlock Holmes, he turns up at a crime scene and he looks to see what's there and infers from what's there what is the most likely scenario to occur. So when I'm doing coaching and change work, one of the things that I do is I look to see what's there, and I infer from the behavior, the speech acts, also from how they're behaving in the world, not just the speech acts, that's just the behavior that I get, and the non-verbal behavior as well, by the way. I infer from that what is likely to be true in terms of their belief sets in order to make sense of it. Because this is how we get to what we want to change. I got to uncover it. And I call this Sherlock Holmes coaching. And it's about dropping down, dropping down, dropping down. It's one of the reasons why understanding how presuppositions work is important. It's one of the reasons why I believe when you get to sort of the higher levels of your development as a change work practitioner and as a coach, you want to be adept at taking multiple perspectives and trying on multiple versions of reality. Because if you can't compare and contrast yourself, you're only ever stuck in one way of seeing things. It's very difficult to step outside of that for yourself. So your own development in perspective taking is a really important thing here. So that's how it relates for me to change work and Sherlock Holmes coaching. I loved it when I saw Jordan Peterson talk about this. I want to add a little bonus bit on here as well about something I call speculative semantic modeling. And many years back, people who did the original Self-Hypnosis Without Trance online program, which was a webinar series, and Self-Change Artistry, which is a live workshop I did. I used to talk about speculative semantic modeling back then. It is the same process. So speculative semantic modeling, I look at somebody who I admire in their operations in the world, and then I examine their behaviors. I look to see how they are acting in the world, and I infer from that what their values and beliefs will be. And then I do a sort of an immersion process with myself in getting into those values and beliefs and seeing how does the world look through this? How does the world make sense through this? So I do life as best as I can. And I'm aware that this is an imperfect process, by the way. That's why I call it speculative semantic modeling. I'm not claiming to be eliciting their beliefs, just speculating about what they might be, what would make sense, and trying that on. Now, by doing this, I get a radical difference from my own worldview. This is a compare and contrast. And it helps me tweak and make changes. I'm not trying to adopt that new worldview necessarily, but it gives me a fertile ground to start upgrading my own operating system so I can show up and engage with life in different and more generative ways. So this is something I do. It helps me develop in life. It helps me develop in my general life and my business life, but it also helps me develop as a change worker as well. So there's a whole bunch of stuff there. I've been speaking quickly because I want to keep this video as compact as possible, and I know there's so much richness that I would love to share with you within this. Again, with all videos I'm doing at the moment, this is sponsored by the Tripp Changework Skills Development Program. We have a level 1 training coming up, which is fundamental, must-have changework skills drilled deeply personally along with personal coaching live. I want to say, if you're watching that and you've liked this idea about Sherlock Holmes coaching, not that I've got that deep into it, if you get this idea that we have this operating system of unconsciously held beliefs, and that's what we need to change, so being able to uncover that helps. If you like this idea, you're not going to get that on level 1. That's further down the track. However, this is part of our ethos and how we work at Tripp training. So if you want to begin the journey and you're looking at coming on level 1, please do let us know. As you're watching this video, I'm going to put this out on the Monday morning, which means by the close of play on Monday night at midnight, the absolutely amazing 38% off deal will close. So if you see this video on Tuesday, sorry you missed it. If you see it on Monday, you're good to go. Okay, if you like this video, if you got some good oil from this video, then please like the video, click the thumbs up here on YouTube. If you want to stay in the loop for more of this kind of thing, you're gonna have to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already, and I would strongly recommend putting your notifications on so as you get more. And if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please do ask in the section below. I will reply, and that way the conversation can continue to unfold going forward.